Welcome back to the deep dive. This is where we take your specialized source material, cut through the usual noise, and really get down to the knowledge you can actually use.
That's right.
And today, wow, we've got a source stack that's honestly both brilliant and really quite funny.
It really is something else.
You've given us 9 core marketing concepts, but they're reframed through, well, dating, courting, and the ultimate goal, marriage.
Yeah, and look, this is essential stuff. I mean, whether you're running a company or just starting your career, these analogies, they just cut through all the jargon.
They really do.
They get right to the sort of human psychology behind business strategy.
Yeah.
And lets us talk about complex things, like brand equity or market segmentation without needing a single chart or spreadsheet.
Exactly. It's all about the human element. So we're setting the scene at this, let's call it, high-stakes party. And our mission today is to figure out why these analogies work so well, strategically speaking. We're looking at the context, the leverage, why the human angle makes or breaks things in any market.
And we should definitely give credit where it's due here. The research, pulling all this together for this, well, unique deep dive that was done by the fantastic Beyond Busy Work team.
Absolutely. They did great work ensuring we've got some really insightful stuff for you today.
They really did.
So let's quickly lay out the main analogy before we dive into the first few strategies. The goal, the big conversion, is marriage.
The sale.
The product, the unique selling proposition, the thing driving it all, it's simple, being rich.
That's the value prop.
And the market, the whole environment where this plays out, that's the party.
Okay, got the stage set. And our promise to you, listening in, is that by the time we wrap this up, you won't just know the definitions. You'll get the strategic trade-offs behind each approach.
Yeah, understanding these basics is so key, really, for navigating any professional field.
It truly is. So please, stick with us right to the very end of this conversation. It's the cumulative understanding, those final takeaways, that will really lock this learning in as proper strategic insight.
Couldn't have said it better. Okay, let's jump in. We're starting with maximum confrontation. These direct, immediate strategies. Speed, clarity, maybe a bit of brute force. All right, source number 1 gives us direct marketing. Pure aggressive, basically. You see a gorgeous girl at a party, you walk right up and say, "I am very rich, marry me."
Yeah, that's the zero friction approach, isn't it? It completely relies on the strength, the clarity of that immediate offer.
Yeah, build up.
None. No lead nurturing, no brand stuff, no subtlety. You're just leveraging your main USP. I'm rich, and bam, demanding the conversion, the marry me.
So strategically, though, why do companies even risk this? It feels so confrontational. It's like that cold email, BUYN now, 50% off F.
Well, it works sometimes because it cuts out the cost and time of a long sales funnel.
Right.
You're trading potentially high rejection rates for high volume.
Yeah.
It's a numbers game, hoping you hit someone who's ready to buy right this second.
It's about the speed of the transaction, then.
Exactly. Velocity. But the analogy nails the downside perfectly, doesn't it? There's zero segmentation.
None at all.
You're throwing your luxury product, the richness out there, without knowing if the customer, the girl, even cares about wealth. Maybe she wants, a sense of humor or intelligence.
So if the product market fit is magically perfect.
Instant conversion, minimal cost. Win-win.
But if it's not?
If it's not, you've just become that guy at the party.
Or that company in the inbox.
Exactly. Purely transactional, probably annoying. It can lead to what they call rejection fatigue for the seller, maybe even damage the brand if enough people get irritated.
So the direct marketing person just accepts the rejection?
Pretty much. They accept that most pitches will fail instantly. They're betting on scale, maximizing exposure to find those tiny slivers of the market that are basically pre-qualified and desperate for exactly what you're offering right then and there.
It's just a pure numbers game, clarity and volume.
That's it in a nutshell. Okay, now telemarketing. Source 3 introduces this tiny but really crucial qualification step. You see the gorgeous girl at the party. You go up, but this time you get her phone number. Then the next day you call and say, "Hi, I'm very rich. Marry me."
That extra step, getting the number, that's the lead capture, isn't it? The initial
Exactly. It's the soft qualification. Why is getting the number qualification?
Yeah.
Because it suggests they're at least open to hearing more. You've moved from totally cold to maybe lukewarm.
So you're building a contact list, not just shouting.
Right. Which should, in theory, improve your conversion rate because you're targeting people who've shown some minimal interest.
But here's the strategic twist, isn't it? The context shift.
Ah, yes. Big time.
At the party, maybe she gave the number just to be polite, or maybe you seemed fun in that moment.
Low stakes.
But the next day, the phone call, that feels intrusive.
Totally. You've shifted from a shared informal setting to, like you said, an interruption. Scheduled or unscheduled, it breaks into her day.
And that's why it becomes telemarketing, the disruptive channel.
Precisely. The cost of getting that lead, the number, is higher than just shouting at the party.
It takes more effort.
But the cost of the next step, the calling campaign, is potentially lower because you have a smaller, slightly warmer list.
So that's the trade-off. Higher cost per lead for a hopefully higher conversion chance.
Even if the channel itself, the cold call, can be really annoying.
And that brings in the whole regulation issue too, right?
Yeah.
Like, do not call lists. At the party, giving the number is casual, getting calls later. That's different.
Absolutely. The channel and timing become high risk. You need precision. Most cold calls fail because even with the number, the pitch is still that blunt, I'm rich, marry me. But the context is now potentially hostile or, at best, inconvenient.
Okay, let's talk consequences. Source 6 gives us maybe the most direct form of customer feedback imaginable.
Yeah. You see the gorgeous girl? You go up, say, I am very rich, marry me, and she gives you a nice hard slap on your face.
Ouch. But you know what? That's not just feedback. That is immediate, high-definition, crystal-clear data. Painful data, but data nonetheless.
Strategically priceless, even if it hurts.
I think everyone in any field has felt that metaphorical slap, haven't they? I remember running a campaign years ago, new software product. We thought this one feature was revolutionary, spent a ton on the launch. And the first feedback wave wasn't just no, it was angry. Like, this actively makes things worse.
Oh, wow.
We realized the core feature was just wrong. It wasn't a literal slap, but the inbox definitely felt bruised.
That's the value of that kind of sharp negative feedback. It pinpoints a catastrophic failure. Either the offer, the timing, or the delivery is fundamentally broken.
And it stops you pouring more money down the drain.
Exactly. It kills the sunk cost fallacy. You haven't wasted weeks on follow-ups or PR stunts. You get unambiguous data saying, S.P., wrong way. It's the core principle of fail fast, fail cheap.
So the slap, it's actually helpful in a brutal way.
Absolutely. Think about the alternative. What if she just smiles politely and says, maybe.
You waste weeks, money, effort.
Right. Chasing a lead that was never going anywhere. The slap gives you instant clarity. Stop, rethink, pivot. Ambiguity is the enemy of efficiency, right?
Right.
The slap removes all ambiguity.
Yeah.
It's the clearest, maybe lowest cost market research you can get, even if your ego takes a hit.
Okay, so we've done the direct hits. Now we're moving into the realm of, let's say, indirect influence.
The subtler arts.
Yeah, strategies that rely more on reputation, building trust, maybe using intermediaries to make the pitch feel more earned or natural.
This is where it gets more complex, I think. And often the conversion rates might be higher, but the upfront investment is way bigger. Okay, source 2 defines advertising like this. You're at the party with friends. You see the gorgeous girl. One of your friends goes up to her, points at you, and says, he's very rich. Marry him.
See the shift. The friend is the proxy, the third-party channel.
Right.
Psychologically, that's huge. It creates a credibility shield. It reduces that awkwardness, that aggressive self-promotion of the direct approach. You're basically paying or convincing a channel, your friend, or the media to deliver your message for you.
Exactly. And the friend doesn't just deliver the message, do they? They add context. Association.
Oh, yeah, totally. If the friend is cool and respected,
The message gains weight.
if the friend is kind of obnoxious,
The message suffers. And that's the risk of media placement in real advertising, isn't it? You lose direct control.
your friend might mess up the delivery, use the wrong tone, tell the wrong person.
All of the above. That's why things like brand safety and choosing the right media channel are so critical. You're essentially buying access to eyeballs or ears via that channel.
Like paying for a TV spot or an influencer post.
Precisely. We often measure it by CPM, cost per 1,000 impressions. You're paying the friend to get your message in front of, say, 1,000 potential partners at the party, just hoping one or two are receptive.
And what's clever about the analogy is the girl knows the friend is working for you, right? It's obvious.
Yeah, it's not fooling anyone on that level.
But the message still lands softer than if you'd walked up bragging yourself. It feels more like information shared through a channel, less like a hard sell. The distance lends a bit of objectivity, maybe.
I think so.
Yeah.
And usually the strategic goal of advertising isn't that immediate marry me conversion like direct marketing.
It's more about awareness.
Exactly.
Right.
Building awareness, making the richness known. softening the ground, changing perception before you even make direct contact. It's often the setup for a later, more direct approach.
Okay, now public relations. We need to spend a bit more time here because this feels like the strategic opposite of that first direct pitch.
It really is.
Source 4 describes it as this whole performance of goodwill. You get up, straighten your tie, walk over, pour her a drink, open the door for her, pick up her bag when she drops it, offer her a ride. And then you say, by the way, I'm rich. Will you marry me?
That sequence. It's a masterclass in psychological groundwork, sustained effort.
It's a lot of work.
Totally. Unlike advertising, where you pay someone else to say you're great, with PR, you invest your own time and resources to demonstrate value, competence, goodwill.
Even the straighten your tie bit.
That's managing your visual brand, looking the part, professional, ready.
And then the actions, pouring the drink, picking up the bag, that feels like the reciprocity principle.
Exactly. You're giving value first without asking for anything immediately back. Each small act builds up this little psychological IOU.
Creates positive association, makes you seem reliable, trustworthy.
And that's precisely why real PR strategies are often expensive and take a long time to show results. The investment is in time, resources, delaying gratification.
Like a company sponsoring local events or putting out really helpful free content.
Perfect examples.
Yeah.
For pouring the drink, picking up the bag for the whole community first, building that goodwill bank.
It's the long game, isn't it? The direct marketer wants the one-night conversion.
While the PR specialist is building maybe a 5-year relationship before even hinting at the final sale.
So how does this whole performance change how the richness, the product itself, is perceived?
It flips the script on context. Remember, the direct marketer leads with, I'm rich. Sounds transactional, maybe arrogant.
Right.
The PR person leads with service. So when the richness is finally revealed, by the way, it almost feels like a confirmation, a bonus detail validating the quality she's already seen firsthand.
So the value proposition shifts. It's not buy my stuff because it's good. It's more like,
I'm a good, reliable, decent partner.
yeah,
And, oh, look, I also happen to have resources that ensure stability.
that's clever. It makes the product seem less like the reason and more like a supporting detail. And what about all the effort she sees? Walking over, getting the drink, the bag.
That visible effort, the time investment, that's a strategic signal too.
Yeah.
It subtly tells her she's worth that effort. It increases her own sense of value in the interaction, deepens the connection.
It's like a strategic moat built over time.
Absolutely. When she eventually converts, that relationship is much more insulated from competitors.
Sure.
If someone else tries the blunt, direct marketing approach on her after she's experienced your PR,
She's probably not interested.
less likely, yeah.
Yeah.
Because she's already invested in and values the sustained goodwill you've shown. PR builds loyalty. It builds competitive defense in a way a quick pitch never can. It makes the final ask, marry me, feel earned, natural, not transactional or shocking.
Okay, so if PR is all about the effort, brand recognition, that feels like collecting the dividends.
Oh, absolutely. The ideal state.
Source 5 describes it perfectly. You're just standing at the party, you see the gorgeous girl, she walks up to you and says, "You are very rich, can you marry me?"
That's it. That's brand equity made manifest. The product's value, you are very rich, isn't just known, it's trusted, it's desired.
To the point where the customer initiates the deal.
Yeah. Can you marry me? The conversion comes to you.
So the seller in this scenario does basically nothing at the point of sale.
Zero acquisition effort right then. The cost of that specific conversion is effectively nil. All the investment was front-loaded, possibly over years or decades, building that reputation.
This is the dream, isn't it, for any long-term marketing? To build perceived value so high that demand just pulls you along.
And strategically, brand recognition unlocks things the direct marketer can't even touch. Like, think about pricing elasticity.
Right. You can charge more.
Because your brand is famous, trusted, desired. You can often maintain or even raise your price. The richness could mean higher value or higher cost without losing customers. People pay a premium for the known quantity, the trusted name.
And it provides amazing protection against competitors, doesn't it?
Phenomenal insulation. Even if a rival walks up to her and says, "Hey, I'm rich too," maybe even richer. Her trust, her desire, it's likely already locked onto the famous brand she approached.
She's already bought into the story.
She's internalized the reputation. It makes competitive pitches just bounce off, or at least seem much less appealing. The seller doesn't even need to make the pitch anymore. The market, the reputation, does the talking for them.
That's why Huge companies spend fortunes just maintaining that fame.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're building and reinforcing this protective barrier where customers already believe in the value before any direct interaction happens. They've shifted all the friction away from that critical moment of conversion.
Oh.
Okay, so we've looked at different ways to make the pitch direct and indirect. But sometimes failure has nothing to do with your pitch or your product.
The reality check section.
Yeah, it's just about the external market structure, barriers you can't easily pitch your way around.
This is where we hit the hard truths of, like, market qualification, competition, and those frustrating rules that just stop you in your tracks. Right, source 7 gives us a crucial lesson in market research, served with a side of awkwardness. You see the gorgeous girl go up, say, "I am very rich, marry me." And she introduces you to her husband.
Oof. Yeah, the product richness might be fine. The general demand for what richness represents, security, maybe companionship, that probably exists.
Right.
But the specific supply, that one potential partner, already taken, she's off the market. It's a complete failure of basic market qualification.
And think about the cost of that mistake in business terms. Spending months, maybe millions, on a slick campaign targeting customers who are locked into 5-year contracts with someone else.
Or they're using an internal system they physically can't switch away from. The general demand might be there, but the accessible supply for you is zero.
It underlines the absolute necessity of doing your homework first. Market research before market execution.
You have to qualify your audience. Are they actually available to marry you? Or have they already signed that contract? If there's this kind of gap where demand exists, but the accessible segment is closed,
Every dollar spent pitching them is just gone.
pure waste. Targeting an unconvertible lead. Seems like the simplest rule, doesn't it? Make sure they can buy from you.
Yet it gets violated all the time. If the market segment is saturated or locked down contractually, how rich your offer is becomes completely irrelevant.
Okay, but what if she is available? The market's rarely empty, is it?
Nope, competition. Source 8 shows us just how brutal that can be, especially with timing. You see the gorgeous girl, you approach her, but before you say anything, someone else swoops in, says, "I'm rich, will you marry me?" And boom, she goes with him.
The agony of being a split second too late.
Right. The competitor, another rich suitor, used basically the same pitch maybe, but they got there first. Speed to market wins.
It's a perfect picture of zero-sum market dynamics, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's assume both offers are identical. Both suitors are equally rich.
Okay.
The only thing that decides the winner is execution speed, timing.
Mm-hmm.
That competitor grabbed the attention, made the offer, got the conversion first. They won 100% of that specific market share, the girl.
The cost of your hesitation wasn't just a delay. It was the loss of the entire potential deal.
Exactly. It hammers home that in competitive spaces, being good isn't enough. You also have to be fast.
Even if your product is slightly better, or your PR groundwork was more thorough.
If the customer's decision window is narrow, if they're ready to convert now, the competitor who acts decisively captures them, lingering, waiting for the perfect moment. That just gives the competition the opening.
Like bidding for online ads, maybe? Or launching into a hot new trend.
Perfect examples. The advantage goes to whoever spots the window and sprints through it. Waiting for perfection often means a faster, maybe slightly less perfect competitor gets the entire prize. Speed kills your chances if you're too slow.
All right, our last source. This is maybe the most frustrating barrier of all. The restriction for entering new markets. And it's hilariously relatable. You see the gorgeous girl, you're about to make your move, say, "I'm rich, marry me," and your wife arrives.
Yes, the ultimate non-starter. This isn't about the market or the pitch or the competition, is it?
Nope. The girl might be available, no husband. Your pitch might be killer. But this constraint, it's internal, or ethical, or regulatory. The wife represents some fundamental pre-existing commitment or rule that just stops you cold.
It completely invalidates the entire sales pipeline you might have built. The potential customer is there, the product is ready, but the transaction itself is prohibited.
The restriction isn't about the pitch quality, it's that prior binding contract or situation.
Strategically, this stands for so many real-world hurdles, non-compete clauses in contracts, prohibitive regulations in a new country you want to expand into, maybe even internal conflicts within your own company.
How so? Internal conflicts?
Well, imagine the wife represents your company's main cash cow, a legacy product line bringing in 80% of the revenue.
Okay.
And the gorgeous girl is a disruptive, amazing new product that could cannibalize the old one. Launching it might be strategically brilliant long-term, but the wife, The dependency on the current revenue stream financially or politically prevents you from entering that new market.
So all that effort on PR, advertising, direct pitches, it's all pointless if you haven't dealt with a wife first.
Exactly. You need an internal strategy or a legal one or a regulatory one before the marketing strategy can even start. You need to renegotiate the contract, lobby for rule changes, manage the internal risk, whatever it takes to clear that fundamental barrier.
The lesson is, barrier clearance comes before pitch execution.
If the wife is standing there, the only strategy that matters is the one that deals with the wife. Period. Hashtag tag outro.
Wow, that was quite a journey through dating and marketing.
Yeah.
A fantastic deep dive. We used these 9, pretty funny scenarios to get at a universal truth, didn't we?
I think so.
That success, whether it's romance or business, it often relies less on just shouting about how great your offer is.
Less on the richness itself.
And way more on understanding the context, the pressures, the competition, and those fundamental barriers.
Absolutely. If you connect it all back, the strategy is totally shaped by the environment, the party, and those hurdles, the husband, the fast competitor, the wife. Success often came down to the approach. It was a PR, advertising, careful qualification, rather than just the product, which, remember, stayed the same. Rich.
So true. Now, we'd love to hear from you listening. We all face setbacks, right? Maybe get that metaphorical slap sometimes. Did you ever have a piece of feedback, maybe harsh feedback, that completely changed how you approach things professionally?
Yeah.
Or maybe you had that perfect brand recognition moment where the customer came to you?
Yeah, tell us about it. Share your favorite or maybe most impactful marketing experience or that slap on the face moment down in the comments. We'd genuinely love to read them.
Definitely.
And hey, if you're interested in keeping up with how these strategic principles play out with all the new tech and platforms changing the game, well, you should check out our Tech Bites LinkedIn weekly newsletter.
Yeah, we look at how these timeless rules apply in today's, fast-moving digital world.
We do indeed.
Also, if you found this whole discussion on strategy, execution, market dynamics interesting, maybe check out our playlist. We have another deep dive you might like on what is generative engine optimization.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. It digs into some really cutting-edge marketing mechanisms and how platforms are shaking things up.
Definitely worth a listen if this sparked your interest.
Before we sign off, just want to say a massive thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
Yes, thank you.
If you enjoyed the conversation, found it useful, please consider giving us a like and maybe share our content with your network.
And of course, subscribe to Beyond Busy Work to catch all our latest deep dives on topics like this. Your support really helps us keep turning complex stuff into useful insights.
It really does.
Okay, let's leave you with one final thought to chew on. A provocative question, maybe.
Go for it.
If rich is the product, and you achieve that ultimate goal, that legendary brand recognition from Source 5, where she comes to you, how does that sheer power of reputation change the game for those external barriers we talked about?
Interesting.
Specifically, which barrier, the unavailable husband, Source 7, the speedy competitor, Source 8, or that internal restriction, the wife, Source 9, which one becomes the hardest barrier to overcome when your brand is already legendary? And why? Think about where the friction still exists, even for a famous brand. Mull that over.